She reads it, pauses, smiles. You're thousands of miles away, maybe sitting on your couch in sweatpants. But in that moment, you've entered her mind. Not with flowers, not with grand gestures, with a message. That's the thing modern men forget. Words are weapons. Texting is a weaponized form of influence. And if you use it right, you don't chase women, they orbit you. But here's the danger. Most men text to fill silence. The high value man, he texts to create tension. Today, I'll reveal 3 texting secrets that women can't resist. Not because they're manipulative, but because they're rooted in stoic presence, power, and restraint. These aren't your average wait 3 hours to reply games. This is surgical, philosophical, precise. Let's begin. Secret number 1, the mirror text. Let her reveal herself to herself. Most guys text to impress. They try jokes, compliments, pickup lines, long emotional monologues, all trying to prove they're interesting. But here's the stoic twist. You don't become irresistible by talking about you. You become irresistible by making her reflect on herself. Let me explain. There's a hidden psychological force that rules us all. People are addicted to their own self-image. A woman doesn't fall for you because you're a superhero. She falls for you because when she's around you or texting you, she becomes a version of herself she loves. So, how do you trigger this? Use the mirror text. It's a text that doesn't tell her how amazing you are. It makes her show you how interesting, layered, and alive she is. Examples. Instead of asking, "How's your day?" you say, "What's one thing you did today that no one knows about but would surprise me?" Boom, you flip the spotlight. Now she's not just replying. She's performing for your attention. She's thinking deeply. She's emotionally investing. She's revealing something secret, spontaneous, sensual. You've created a micro stage and she just stepped into it. Let me make it even sharper. Text her. Tell me the story behind that tattoo. Or, what's your favorite lie to tell when you want to get out of plans? These questions are like little emotional triggers. They show that you're not a crowd pleaser, you're a mind reader. And that, my friend, is dangerously attractive. The Stoic lesson: let her speak. Let her reveal. Let her unfold. Don't impress her. Let her impress herself in front of you. Secret number 2, the negative space. Let her feel the weight of your silence. Most men don't understand the gravity of space. In art, the most beautiful images aren't the brush strokes, it's the space between them. In music, the silence between notes builds tension, meaning, and emotion. Texting is the same. You don't seduce a woman by flooding her phone. You seduce her by letting her feel the pause. This is the power of negative space. When you're texting a woman and things are flowing well, most men feel the urge to keep the momentum going. Good morning. What are you doing now? Did you eat? Miss you. Why aren't you replying? Stop. All of that is noise, desperation. And desperation is the enemy of desire. Here's the secret. Tension thrives in silence. A stoic man doesn't fear silence, he uses it. When you drop a beautifully crafted message and then disappear, she starts wondering, is he thinking of me? Why hasn't he replied yet? Did I say something wrong? Is he texting someone else? And here's the beautiful twist. She's now doing all the emotional labor. You're not chasing. She's unraveling the mystery you carefully created. This isn't about playing games. This is about holding your center. You're not ignoring her. You're creating emotional gravity. Imagine texting this. You're dangerously good at making people curious, including me. I'll tell you more later. And then you vanish for a few hours, maybe a day. You didn't ghost her. You gifted her mystery. That's the core of high-value masculine energy. You're not here to be available 24. You're here to be remembered. Let her sit with your words. Let her feel your absence. Let her imagination do the work. Because once her mind is filled with questions, her heart will follow. Secret number 3, the shift text. Disrupt her emotional pattern and become unforgettable. Let's get something straight. There's no such thing as winning a woman's attention with logic. You don't convince her to want you. You evoke something in her. And that something always comes down to emotion, but not just any emotion. Contrast, disruption, a jolt to the system. If your texts make her feel like she's in a warm bath, scrolling half attentively while chewing on her lower lip, you've already lost. You've become part of the static in her life. But if your message snaps her out of autopilot, if your text makes her stop, reread, raise an eyebrow, or smile in confusion, that's where the fire starts. And that's why this third secret is so dangerous by so effective, so beautifully unpredictable. We call it the shift text. What is the shift text? Imagine this. You're in a conversation. Maybe it's flirty. Maybe it's just safe and sweet. Things are light. Banter is easy. She's engaged. And then out of nowhere, you drop a text that flips the script. It's not rude. It's not over the top, but it disrupts the rhythm. It adds weight, mystery, intimacy, or tension. It's the equivalent of suddenly turning down the music in a party and whispering something directly in her ear. That's the shift. And it works because it makes you emotionally multidimensional. Most guys are linear, predictable. One note. He's either the nice guy who always checks in, or the flirt who constantly sends winks and tongue emojis, or the intense guy who overshares and trauma dumps on day 3. But the Sigma male, the Stoic man, he's the surprise. He's not trying to be different. He is different. His texts reflect that. There's a psychological concept called intermittent reinforcement. It's the same mechanic that makes slot machines addictive. You never know when you'll hit the jackpot, but the possibility keeps you hooked. Women aren't slot machines, of course, but the principle applies. If your texting pattern has rhythm, predictability, and zero emotional contrast, it becomes boring. Desire dies in routine. But when you break that pattern, when you inject unpredictability just enough to spike emotional tension, you create a hook in her brain. She starts anticipating your messages, not because you're always available, but because you're emotionally layered. Surprising texts from you become moments she can't predict but craves. And when you pair that unpredictability with restraint and calm, the Stoic foundation, it becomes impossible to ignore. How to send the shift text with real examples. Let's build it from the ground up. Step 1. Start in a tone that's light, friendly, safe. Her, I'm bored at work. You start a paperclip rebellion. Free the supplies, boom, banter. It's playful. She laughs. Now, here's where most guys would stay in that zone. But you don't. You suddenly shift. Honestly, I like how your brain works. You're not like most people. There's a kind of sharpness there. You've gone from funny to insightful, from jokester to quiet observer, from predictable to intimate, or another scenario. She, I'm at the gym. Leg day, send help. You. Leg day's brutal, but I bet no one there even realizes how competitive you are. You look calm, but your mind's always racing. I've noticed. You've taken something ordinary and made it personal. That's the key. The shift text reveals something she didn't know you noticed. It makes her feel seen, not in a creepy way, but in a cinematic one. The kind of way that makes her reread the message later at night, wondering if you actually know her better than she realized. Now, don't get excited and drop these lines in the first 5 minutes. Timing matters. You don't throw gasoline on a cold fire. You warm it first. You create space for familiarity, a sense of rhythm, and then you strike. You shift when she's clearly engaged in conversation. There's mutual comfort or playfulness. You want to take things from casual to intimate. You want to leave a lasting impression before pausing or pulling back. And here's the kicker. You don't explain the shift. Never say, sorry, that was random. Never say, I know that was deep. LOL. No, you say it and let it hang. Because that's what confidence looks like. That's what Stoic masculine energy feels like. Calm in your intensity. You drop truth like a blade in the silence and let her hear the echo. Stoicism isn't about being robotic. It's about having command over your emotions. And because you're not ruled by emotional chaos, you can play with emotions like an artist. The shift text is your brush stroke, a sudden change in emotional tone that reveals you are more than meets the eye. You can make her laugh, you can make her think, you can pull her in, you can disappear just long enough to make her wonder. You are not a text machine, you are a presence. So when you drop a shift, it's not about getting her to reply faster. It's about imprinting something real, a moment, a tension, a spark. That's what women crave more than perfect grammar and funny memes. They want to feel you behind the screen. They want depth with danger, softness with strength, silence with gravity. You've been texting off and on. She's cute, witty, nothing serious yet. She says, I've had such a lazy weekend, LOL. Don't just say, same here. Try this. I get that vibe from you sometimes. Like you've got this whole storm underneath, but you hide it behind L and lazy days. I like it. That's a shift. You've opened a crack in the wall, and if she responds, that's your invitation in. And if she ghosts, she wasn't ready for your level. And that's okay, because the man who knows how to shift, he doesn't just text women, he awakens them. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.